today's video, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 best guns to be using right now after the Season 3 Reloaded update. You may actually be shocked with some of the weapons they decided to buff in the update. Now, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and click the thumbs up button so you don't miss out on my future videos. With all that being said, let's get into the first class setup. Our first new best class setup after the update, we have the HRM9, which actually received a 8% increase in damage range. So the HRM9 is now going to be a little bit better at those medium to long range gunfights. So here's the class setup that you are going to want to be using. Starting off, I got the 50 round drum so I can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. I then threw on the FTech MSP98 hand stop. I get aim walking speed so I can strafe really quick, and that just makes it way more challenging for the enemies to land shots on me. And then I also get vertical and gun kick control, so it just makes the weapon a lot easier to use, helps me land more of my shots. And I also get movement speed, so I could be more aggressive, get more kills and whatnot. I have the best muzzle in the entire game for recoil control, the Zemin 35 compensated flash hider muzzle. And this is once again just going to make our weapon very accurate. I then threw on a barrel that gives me a lot more movement speed, so once again I could be aggressive and get more kills. That's the objective. This gives me ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, so it actually feels true to an SMG. And then my final attachment here is the folding stock, which just gives me another massive increase in recoil control. So mobility wise, it's great, super fast, super accurate now with all these attachments, and it already received a buff. It was already a very strong SMG, and now it's very dominant. So it's everything you need a weapon to be in Modern Warfare 3. Then we can bring it to the firing range real quick, and you're gonna see just, I'm telling you, this is just quickly taking the MW3 over. I know it's really hard meta in Warzone, has been for months, but even in multiplayer, man, like they're making this thing meta where you could have this SMG build that can even compete at long ranges. I mean, right here is kind of insane, and it's just so easy to work with. So that's the first setup. Now, little to nothing has changed for the assault rifle. So this is kind of my personal go-to AR in Modern Warfare 3, the BP50. Now, my first attachment here is the Jack Revenger kit. This is the only reason it's my go-to. It does turn it into like a sub, but you could still use this at long range. It's honestly a hybrid, so you could use this on any map and in any given situation. So increase in magazine size, so you have a 60 round mag to work with. You get a huge increase in vertical recoil control, helping you land more of your shots. You get ADS speed, movement speed, so you can get around the map a little bit more quickly. You just have that increase in mobility, which is fantastic. My next attachment I went with is going to be a muzzle. I did the Zemin compensated flash hider. You do lose out on quite a bit of accuracy and recoil control from that kit, so I want to make this weapon just an absolute laser beam like it was without it, and this is going to help us because once again it is the best muzzle in the entire game. I then went ahead and I threw on the high grain rounds, bullet velocity, damage range. It just makes this weapon even stronger, which is great. I then threw on the rear grip, and I had on the Trust IV grip tape, so another massive increase in my recoil control. And then my next and final attachment, you could either do an optic or laser. It's honestly up to you. I don't mind the iron sights, so I've decided to go with a laser, and I just put on the 1MW Artemis laser. So there's the full build. Bring this to the firing range again. You could use it at any given range. You got that big magazine to work with. It's obviously incredibly accurate, and then it gets the job done, like I said, at any given range. Super, super good in any situation. Again, it is a hybrid of an AR and SMG. This is one of the better conversion kits in the entire game. For our third weapon, we have the SVA-545. Now, the BP50 is a great option, but if you want like a true dominant long-range weapon, the SVA-545 is what you're going to want to use. So my first attachment here is the 60 round mag. It has a high fire rate. You do burn through ammo faster than you think you do, so you're going to need this so you're not reloading after every single kill, or, you know, you don't have to slow down. Next, we have the Bruin Heavy Support Grip, which is the best underbarrel for recoil control and accuracy. And once again, it has a high fire rate. The recoil is a little weird sometimes, so to ensure that it is laser accurate, throw this on. For our muzzle, you have honestly 3 options, and 2 of them are right here, the Cassis Brake and the Zemin. These are fantastic options for recoil control. But if you can already control the recoil, you want to add a little bit more power to your weapon, go ahead and do the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor. So one, you're off the radar, enemies don't know where you're at. You do get a little bit better recoil control, and you get an increase in bullet velocity in range. So again, you have 3 options: Spirit Fire, Cassis, and Zemin compensated flash hider. Me personally, I'm just going to go with the Spirit Fire because I feel like it greatly increases the impact of the weapon. Next, we have the STV Precision Barrel, so we get an increase in bullet velocity and range once again. So when you have the increase on the barrel and the muzzle, it makes it super, super overpowered. So that's the reason I like the suppressor on this. And then my final attachment is going to be an optic. It's up to you. Again, it's personal preference. Jack glasses is a great option, but I ultimately went with the Mark III reflector, just super clean and clear. And it's not super big like the Jack glasses is. And here's our build here. Again, it's going to be a little bit slower, a little bit on the slower side of things with the ADS speed, but it is absurdly dominant. So it's one of the better weapons in the entire game. Super easy to use. You could do an automatic like I did right there, or tap it to single fire. And if you want to have if you have a little bit of a trigger finger, this is even better for the weapon. So I use it in both. I just hate tapping the trigger all the time, but that is definitely the way to be using this weapon here. And it's just so stupid. For our fourth weapon, we have the WSP-9. I just made a video on this the other day, and it just got even better. They decreased the sprint to fire time by 40%. It was a slow SMG, but now it's so much quicker. It's not as bulky feeling because it just comes up and it's ready, which is awesome. So you're gonna wanna get your hands on this immediately. We got the 40-round magazine, so we can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. 50's OD, it's the fastest killing SMG. You don't need 50. You could honestly get away with 32, but not many people like it. So just do the 40. It's right in the middle. I went ahead and I threw on the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel. I get an increase in bullet velocity and range, so I can extend those 3-shot kills to further ranges, which is very helpful. For my rear grip, I have on the Marauder grip, which gives me better recoil control. It has a wonky recoil pattern, but once you get that under control, this thing is quite literally unstoppable. My fourth attachment is the Duster Heavy Stock, which gives me aiming idle sway and firing aim stability. It visually just completely brings down the recoil on this. It's unreal. It just makes it look like a laser beam. And you probably already guessed it. Our final attachment is the Zemin Cbass Flash Hider muzzle for that increase in recoil control. Once again, I don't gotta sit here and say it over and over again. Let's bring this thing into the firing range. And again, it comes up incredibly quick now, which is really nice. I know not a lot of people like the iron sights, but trust me, play like 5 matches with this. You're gonna start to get a feeling on these iron sights because this build is super good. I like it. So easy to use. And even at a range like this, dude, look at it. It literally is a laser. It's so much fun to use. Now, if you want an optic, feel free to take off the rear grip and throw on an optic, which we could do real quick, and I'll show you how good that is. Let's do like let's just do a NIDAR real quick. So this is if you want to do an optic. All right, it's still gonna be really good. It's just, you can see the kick a little bit. It does still have a little bit of kick. So it's all up to you. Again, I prefer the iron sights just because I can just keep it super accurate. But again, one of the best options to be using in the game right now. Now, I may have just saved the best for last. We have the AMR9, which received an increase in near damage range by 16%, an increase in medium damage range by 4%, and an increase in minimum damage range by 5%. And then another increase to lower arm and hand damage multipliers by 10%. This thing kills significantly quicker than previously. Now, this is the build I came up with. So starting off, I have the new attachment that came out a few weeks ago, the Jack Cutthroat. You get a huge increase in mobility. The #1 issue with this weapon is how heavy it feels. There's ARs that are quicker than this. It is just super slow. So a lot of our attachments are gonna be increasing the speed on this. This is one of them. You can strafe super fast. Again, making it really hard for the enemies to land shots on you. I went ahead and did the 50-round magazine. We need a bigger magazine. I would say do 100 for fun, but the weapon's already heavy. You do not need all that extra heaviness. So just do the 50. It's more than enough. You'll be able to take out so many enemies without having to reload. I went ahead and I actually did a movement barrel. I'm gonna be honest. I had the AMR9 RECOIL Pro barrel. I need that mobility so damn bad. I get ADS speed, sprint to fire, movement, sprint speed. So you just feel significantly lighter on the maps, which are really nice. Obviously, again, the go-to muzzle, Zemin 35 compensated flash hider. And then our fifth and final attachment is an optic. The iron sights are atrocious. They're so goddamn bad. Put whatever optic, it's gonna be better than the iron sights. And I have the Mark III reflector because it's my favorite. And then we can go to the firing range and you're gonna see, dude, this thing, very easy to control. Dude, way better with the mobility on this. Like without this build, it feels so slow. And even with this, it doesn't even feel like a traditional like SMG, but it's better than where it was, and we're still maintaining accuracy and power too, which is really, really nice. So AMR9, man, I'm gonna have a game plan this soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Now to wrap things up, I'm gonna give you guys my go-to secondary since I get asked about it all the time. We have the Renetti SMG. I throw on the conversion kit, which basically just turns it into a backup sub, which is unreal. It also gives you an increase in bullet velocity and range. So again, you could seriously just use this as a primary if you wanted to. So it's a fantastic secondary. You got a full auto SMG now, which is great. How could you go wrong with that? I then do the 50-round drum. Again, if you run out of ammo, man, you have just a full-fledged primary ready to go. I then throw on the Zeman compensator, obviously the best muzzle in the game. I have a rear grip, and I do the Bruin Onslaught assault grip for better recoil control, and then I do an optic because I'm not a fan of the iron sights, and the best optic for this is the Night model. So very straightforward. Again, this is a secondary weapon that you could use as a primary. I know sometimes you're running out of ammo. Again, a literal just SMG in your back pocket. So this is like my personal favorite secondary to be using if I'm, you know, going for nukes or something, because it just gets the job done at any given time. And then no matter what 5 of these class setups you choose, the rest of the loadout itself stays the same. So I love the compression carrier. After I get a kill, my health instantly regens. It really helps you stay alive a lot longer. We have the Renetti I just showed you. My favorite lethal is the Semtex. I feel like they're just the best in my opinion. I got scavenger gloves so I can continue to use my own weapon. I get lightweight boots here, so I get an increase in movement speed and swim speed. So basically just helps me get around the map a lot more quickly. I can get more kills. And then I got mag holster, which is just sleight of hand. I can reload weapons very, very fast and just continue the aggressive gameplay. And then this is my other loadout I like to do, the TcTekk where you can get those scavenger packs that give you little radar pings. So it's like a UAV after every kill. It's really helpful. Ammunition boxes, scavenger gloves once again, lightweight boots again, mag holster, and then I got EOD padding, which helps me survive lethals and whatnot. And that's gonna wrap up today's top 5 after the update. Again, not a lot changed, but the things that did change are pretty huge. So let me know what weapons I missed out on in this top 5 that you would have included. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys all stay safe. Have a great day. And I'm out. Peace.